Alright, for question 10, study the following situation. Okay, so we are given the situation where Puan Aini cooks rice by using two different pots, aluminium pot and also clay pot. And she found out that the rice cooked faster in the aluminium pot compared to clay pot. Okay, so here suggests one hypothesis to investigate the above situation. Okay, so from the given situation, we actually already have one hypothesis here where you can write down the rice cooked faster in aluminium pot compared to clay pot. So this is the general hypothesis. And the other hypothesis that you may write down is the aluminium pot conduct heats better than the clay pot because rice cooked faster in the aluminium pot compared to clay pot. So it conduct heats better than clay pot. For your information, the aluminium, it have much lower melting point compared to clay pot, where aluminium having the melting point around 660 degrees Celsius, but clay pot have much higher melting point at 1780 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then based on the given situation, plan an experiment to investigate the conduction of heat using copper rod, glass rod, wax, thumbtack, Bunsen burner, retort stand and one other material. Okay, so your description should include the following criteria. So first is the aim of the experiment. Okay, from the question given the materials, we're able to picturize that the setup of the experiment will be like this picture, where the aim of the experiment is that we want to determine the relationship between the type of rod and the heat conductivity. Or from the setup of the experiment, we want to investigate the relationship between the type of rod used with the time taken for the thumbtack to drop. And then number 2, state the identification of variables. Okay, so here we need to state the 3 variables, which is constant variable, responding variable and manipulated variable. Okay, so the constant variable is the variable that cannot be altered. So from the setup of experiment, we know that the size of rod or length of rod which cannot be altered, and also the quantity of thumbtack used and the distance of Bunsen burner with the rod. And as for the responding variable, it is based on the result of the experiment. And here we want to investigate the heat conductivity or the time taken for the thumbtack to drop. And as for the manipulated variable is the type of rod, meaning that a variable that can cause changes. Okay, and then list of apparatus and materials. Okay, so here we are already given some of the list of apparatus and materials. So just write down. So we're going to use copper rod, glass rod, candle wax, thumbtack, Bunsen burner, retort stand and also stopwatch to get the time taken for thumbtack to drop. Okay, and then write down the procedure or method. So the procedure, first we need to attach the copper rod on the retort stand. Okay, and then stick the thumbtack on the copper using the candle wax. And then light up the Bunsen burner at the tip of the rod and record the time taken using the stopwatch for the thumbtack to drop. And then repeat the step for glass rod. Okay, and lastly, the tabulation of data. Okay, so to record the data, so using this table, you may record your data and jot down the values of time taken for the thumbtack to drop here.